Welcome to the Voices of Maat in St. Louis. I'm Queen Mother Ini Teray Aset Akua Kiti Haru with the Temple of Het Haru, where our Baba Seba is Amari Sneferu. I'm going to start today by doing our Hesi, our chant. I'll say it in Meta Netter, and then I will translate it into English. And I also want to acknowledge our King Metu for teaching me this chant. Pa netter ampu pa maat, ank wise de jeb, ank unja seneb, uben nefra akar pa in bu haru maat. In English, that translates to how sweet is the truth, life, power, stability, life, prosperity, and health, rising always in excellence with maat every day, all day. Ashe?
Ashe.
Dua Natur means thanks to the divine for the all, only one being in existence, and that is nature. EET, welcome. Congratulations, King, on your being recently elevated to the position of Seba, of culture and history to the Temple of Het Haru. Would you tell our listening audience exactly what it means to be a Seba?
Okay. Seba is a Nile Valley Kemetic word for teacher. And I've been teaching since 2010. I've been learning since 2007, but I started teaching around 2010. And it's been phenomenal, just to elevate our people's consciousness, because our brother, the most honorable Markham Messiah Garvey said, liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you'll liberate the bodies of men. So I've been doing that, and to officially be initiated as a teacher of history and culture is very phenomenal, because the first person who got a degree got one from someone who didn't have a degree. And I'm just amazed to be able to have other people to see my work and acknowledge me for it, because this is a thankless movement.
Ashe. And I always say about you, Seba Metu, is that if somebody were introduced to you or talked to you and they didn't learn nothing, then they couldn't tell me that they did actually talk to you, because I know whoever you're talking to and whoever you're listening to, you're actually teaching them. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
That's very powerful. I really appreciate you acknowledging that, because I never thought about that. And what's amazing is, I really try to make that a staple with my legacy, because I know a lot of people who have made the ancestral transition to the realm of the Ogun, and everybody that I know that made that transition, I've taught them something. I can say that sister learned something from me. That brother learned something from me. So that's my contribution to the liberation of Black people.
Ashe. And family, when we say Ashe, we simply mean that we're on the same accord and that we agree. Okay, I'm going to move on to the second question. Why have you embraced the Kemetic tradition over the other spiritual or religious traditions that we most often see in our society?
The reason why I was attracted to it and magnetized to it is because I learned that many of the rituals and religious belief systems came from the Nile Valley culture. And so I decided to just go to where the tree is. It's like, if someone's going to take part of a tree and go make something somewhere else, why not go where they got it from? The Bible has been edited thousands of times. They had ecumenical council meetings on, because people really don't understand what edited means. It says right in the Bible, it says edited. It means someone has took some out and put some in. So if Europeans can come in and change the minds of Black people, you mean tell me you can't change the writings of the so-called God? So I had to just look at that, and I saw that all the priests, all the major people who are over Christianity, Islam, and Judaism came into Africa. If it wasn't for Ethiopia, Kush, that would not be a religious system now, because Moses fled into Egypt. Jesus fled into Egypt. Prophet Muhammad came into Ethiopia as well. That whole Nile Valley culture stretches 1,400 miles into the inner belly of Africa. There's a concept that says the inner Africa is the mind, and Kemet is the mouthpiece. And the inner Africa is the voice. Kemet is the mouthpiece. And as I saw, I'm still learning. The more I learn, I have more to learn. It's just me being honest with myself.
Ashe. What are your thoughts as it relates to the new identity crisis we seem to be experiencing today, such as the ADOS, which is the American Descendants of Slaves, Foundational Black Americans, Indigenous Black American, we are not Black crayons, etc., and opposed to a Pan-African identity?
Because there's this behind the scenes anti-Africa movement, and it's really just to discredit a lot of our ancestors that put a lot of work in into letting us know that we have to have our own nation. It's terrible to not have a nation that you're connected with. We don't want to accept the fact that we're Africans. We definitely can't be Americans because we fight for American rights. Americans don't fight for American rights. They already have. Just like when they tell you have a right to travel. We don't have a right to travel. You have a privilege, and they'll take that from you. But we still in love with our former slave masters, and we can still have that split personality silliness that we got to get over with. Because actually, when we was dominated by the Romans, we said pretty much the same thing. I'm not no African. I'm a Roman. The same thing they said then, we're saying it now. We're not too far away from that spell, but we have to really just take a deep look in the mirror and say, if I'm mixed with Africans and Europeans and all these other people, which one of these groups is going to accept me? Because we'll say, I'm mixed with all this other stuff, but only the African side will really accept you. But then you get mad at that side. It's just so, but we have to just be honest with ourselves, man, because there's a comedic proverb that says, the closer you get to Maat, the easier things will be.
Ashe. And also, it's important to add that it's just about knowing thyself. I feel like that a lot of us, we don't know that. We won't connect to our inner divinity. And so because of that, we continue to not understand who we are. And so what we do is we don't accept our Africanness. And in doing that, we continue to dispel who we really are. Ashe?
Absolutely. And there's a poem that a lady had wrote. I'm gonna just quote the first little part of it. It says, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. We don't know how powerful we are. There is no wing of the power of African people. And that scares our oppressor. So by us having the subscriptions of our oppressor and the lenses of our oppressors, what he's afraid of, we're afraid of. It's a subconscious thing. It's like when Malcolm X said, when a white man gets sick, you say, Master, we sick? We sick. Because you think that you're a part of something that you're not. But the more you live, you'll learn. You'll learn eventually.
Ashe.
The minister Louis Farrakhan told us that you can never finish education. You will always continue to learn as long as you live.
Okay, what are your thoughts as it relates to the current pandemic? And what will the post-pandemic future look like for Metu, aka Black people? Metu means Black people, in your opinion?
Well, I look at this pandemic as it's just a way to divide people. It's a control mechanism. And I would just employ African people, just people in general, because what works for African people will work for everybody else because we're the prototypical people. Boost your immune system. There are things you can go to the store and get you some immune boosters, because as long as you have a functional and when working immune system, you'll be able to combat any disease or any little airborne viruses they put out. Just have a functioning immune system. A lot of these medicines they're giving us is destroying our immune system, and your immune system fights off anything that comes into your body as any alien force. So get some immune boosters. Start studying more. There are two phenomenal books that I would employ people to read. One is called Heal Thyself by Queen of Four, and her son, I forgot his name, he just came out with one called Man Heal Thyself. So this is just specifically for Black men, for the brothers. Man Heal Thyself. Get those two books and you'll learn certain things we can do to prevent a lot of these ailments that we're going through. Like, for an example, they were saying how if a man elevates his feet on 3 pillows every day, that can prevent prostate cancer. Something as simple as elevating your feet. I remember when I was going to the chiropractor, my chiropractor told me that I shouldn't put my wallet in my back pocket because it throws your body off alignment. He said, as long as you keep your spinal cord in alignment, you never have to worry about anything. So a lot of times we do things that throw our spinal cord and our body off alignment, because first thing that's made when you're in your mom's womb is your brain and then your spinal cord. You keep your spinal cord in alignment, you'll be good. A lot of times our walking is off. As I said, we constantly sit on top of our wallet that's throwing us off balance. But these are things that we have to learn for ourselves.
See how you be teaching, Seba?
It just comes out because I want us to get better. I'm not saying that I'm better. I'm saying I want us to get better. We have to do this together. We are phenomenal people. We have lived through the worst Holocaust in the history of all time. They have done some of the people. There are other people on this planet that took a lesser blow than us. It don't even exist no more. We are very resilient people. We have to be honest with ourselves and realize that there is a war being declared upon us, and we have to be able to combat that on a spiritual and a physical level.
Right, as well as emotionally as well, mentally.
Yeah, we got to be ready for it because it's on all levels. So we have to just first get our temple together. Stop eating with these people. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, as long as your stomach is in the kitchen of another people, you'll always be their slave. Wow. They control our appetite. They control what we eat, what we drink, who we marry, who we fall in love with, who we argue with. It's like, wow, come on. What they say, get right, church, and let's go home. And I love this other Christian song that says, there's a leak in this old building, and my soul has got to move. And I have to, we have to be honest. And a lot of times your oppressor would never tell you what would cure your ailment, because you don't feed the same thing. You don't feed a grizzly bear what you would feed a lion. So they live in two different areas. So what works for Europeans will not work for Africans. But what works for Africans will work for everyone else. But we have to just be honest with it. It's not teaching white hate. It's not teaching Black supremacy, because that don't even exist. Black supremacy or Black racism does not even exist, because Black racism is basically name calling. This Black guy called me a cracker at Starbucks. That's Black racism, but that's not racism at all, because racism is prejudice plus power. It's a power dynamic. But anyway, and then I also want to let people know that America's getting ready to go to war. Whenever European countries have a financial crisis, a financial instability within their country, what do? They spark a war, because war is about money. Rich man war, poor man's blood. We need to understand the repeating of history.
Right. Say, get ready, stay ready, right?
As long as you stay ready, you will never have to get ready.
Ashe. Some view the current culture of hip hop in America as mostly toxic or counter-revolutionary? What kind of culture and history, Seba, have you committed yourself to teaching our people, and especially talk about the younger generation or the generation that we will be passing all of our Kemetic teachings and spirituality and education to?
The reason I choose Nile Valley or Kemetic culture is because it attaches you to yourself. You know, you see yourself in it. You don't, you know, because a lot of these other things they tell you you're Asiatic and you Aboriginal, or you everything but an African. And then once I look at that, there's the oldest priest to ever live in ancient Kemet. He was the oldest priest and the oldest king. His name was Pepi II. If you get a chance to look at him, he's in the Cairo Museum. There's a wooden statue of him. He looks exactly like me. I looked at, I mean, the everything about me.
You mean
I
you look
saw it
like
in that
him?
statue.
You look like him.
Exactly like Pepi II.
Ashe.
Look him up. If you look him up, you will see your brother Metu. See, and
Ashe.
it's attractive to see something that someone 1,000 years ago thought about. It's like, wow, I'm not, you know, we're not new to this planet. We've been here millions of years. You know, we are the first people on the planet. Without us, there is none, and without us, there will be no more.
Right. So let's talk a little bit more about the whole hip hop culture. Can you give us an insight on how you feel about hip hop? You know, as comparison to whether or not, like, you know, people say it's toxic or is counter-revolutionary. What are your feelings about hip hop? And have you seen some positive hip hop when it comes to Kemeticism or Pan-Africanism or Black Power, Black empowerment? What's your thoughts on that, specifically with hip hop?
Okay, I've seen and heard a lot of positive hip hop. It's all underground. You have to really search for it. You got to really be in the know, what they say in the know, to really get a lot of this positive hip hop. Very inspirational stuff. The stuff that we listen, the garbage that is put through the radio now is all Jew control. You know, the Jews control that. And just be honest with that. And that's not positive at all. And it just shocked me that over 70% of the listeners or the consumers of hip hop are Europeans. So they love to see you being self-destructive, and because it affirms to them, okay, we're safe now. You know, Negroes they're not focusing on us, and so let's buy that. But if you get they don't want you to listen to Brand Nubian. They don't want you listening to Most Def. You know, they don't want you to listen to the old Tribe Called Quest. You know, they don't want you to listen to Public Enemy, The Fear of a Black Panther.
Or our phenomenal Seba Kimbrough, who also is producing and making music and also bringing a lot of positive Kemetic words to our people as well. Ashe?
Ashe, yeah,
our very own Seba Kimbrough.
There's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes that I listen to, and it inspires me. It's like, okay, you know, because I want to be, because I'm still the inspiration to a lot of elders that I'm around. They say, well, you inspire me, brother, because to see young brothers they tell me to see young brothers like you lets me know that we have a chance. And I'll continue to just make them proud, like, okay, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm still on the path. And I applaud people that get on this path of Black liberation and get off. You say you decide you don't want to do it no more. I applaud you for trying. It takes so much to even try to help Black people. This stuff, you have to have some stomach to deal with our people. We got to get some stomach out here.
It takes work too. And so if you're afraid of work, then this is not the field for you, because it's definitely work, and it's definitely a sacrifice and a commitment.
And Black folk will show you, you know, if our people, we would show you it's hard, we get discouraged, and that's what sometimes I would call Queen Mother You. I would call Baba Seba. I'll call Brother
Ashe,
Bianchi. I would call, because we have to be able to call one another, because sometimes I just feel like, man, just throwing in a towel.
Ashe,
But
Ashe.
there's other people that's out here. It's not just me that's doing this work. I can look to my left and see another brother working. I can look to my right and see another sister working. So I can't stop working because they're still working. Sometimes I need to shoulder the crown. Sometimes this stuff is that's amazing how we have got this far down in this barrel. But it shows me that we're gonna really go to another golden age. We've had 4 to 5 golden ages as a people. We're the only people in recorded history that has went through so many golden ages. There are people, thousands of people that have been here, millions of people that have been on this planet that haven't had one. And some that had one, they never had another. When the Greeks had their golden age, they didn't have another one. When the Romans had their golden age, they didn't have another one. When the Native Americans had their 2 golden ages, they didn't have no other one. African people, we already had 5. We can ready to go to our 6th golden age. So I look at things from the perspective of there's a natural seesaw, meaning that when the white man is up, the black man is down. When the black man is up, the white man is down. There is nowhere in history where we existed within the same plane. So the European is on his way down and we're on our way up. It just looks bad. But there's an African proverb that says, your darkest night is right before day.
Ashe, Ashe. So actually that is the conclusion of all the questions that I have for you, Seba Metu. Would you like to add anything? Would you like to tell the audience anything that we haven't covered?
Yes, as I said before, I've been telling people recently about what's getting ready to happen in here in America. It's just a prediction. It's going to happen about this war. I don't know who they're going to go to war with, but war is inevitable here in the hills of North America. I would just employ those who have the resources to leave. You don't have to necessarily go to Africa. Go to South America, because the rest of the world is looking and looking at this Titanic boat sinking. And we're here and we're just worried about, because America can ready to be a third world country because it's not producing anything, just services. And third world, and all these other countries are producing the services, the products. And just get ready, just get your immune system back up, around the family. Stop depending on these hospitals to give you medicine. Read the book, Man Heal Thyself. And there's a lot of other information out there with Dr. Sebi about how to heal yourself with different things, different plants and stuff. You gotta really grab hold to it now, because they're definitely poisoning our food, poisoning our air, because this is a very interesting point. During slavery, our ancestors would live the normal dying age of a black man, a black woman. During slavery, the chattel slavery of our people was 125. That was the normal dying age. Food wasn't killing us back then. White people was killing us. Food is killing us now, because who is feeding us? White people. So let's get our stuff together, family. This is a very opportune time to start your own business. Businesses are closing. People need your help. They need your services. And the eyes of the world is looking like, what is this black man, black woman gonna do? So once we throw our blow, the rest of the world will throw their blow, because it will be a domino effect, because this European has a global reach. So wherever the black-white dynamic exists, you see the white on the top and the black on the bottom. The black Christian at the bottom, the white Christian at the top. So once we start to swing back and be against what's going on, we better fly, because nothing, what was it? Nothing in nature goes with the current. Everything in nature, from birds to fish, goes against the current. On the way for a bird to fly, it goes against the current. And on the way for a fish to swim, it goes against the current. Anytime you see something that's going with the flow, it's dead. And let's wake up, black family.
Ashe, Ashe. And with that being said, I want to also say we have to continue to unite as one and to support each other. If it's something going on with us, we need to really come together and talk about it, be about it, and stick together always. I think uniting is a number one element for us to reach the goals that we really have to reach in the community. Ashe?
Ashe.
And as always, I would like to say du'au. Thank you very much to you, Seba Metu, for coming on the show and giving us this magnificent interview. We appreciate your time and we appreciate you. And I'm so honored for you to be a Seba of the Temple of Het Haru.
I really appreciate it. It's just been an amazing road. We got a long way to go. And I'm glad to be on the path, and we're gonna hang in there together. We all got it. Ain't over till we win.
Ashe. I don't know, for some reason you look like you're kind of breaking up, but I want to say dua to our founder of the Temple of Het Haru, our Baba Seba, Amari Sneferu. Dua to the creator of our channels, Chief Seba Pianki Mantu Nefer Amun Ra. I want to say dua to our Sebas of the Temple of Het Haru. Dua to our Queen, Elder Regina Dennis Nana, and our King, Elder Rini Ankh Makaru. I want to say dua to our queens of our sister circle. Dua to my parents, Roy and Princella Small, for bringing me onto the universe. Dua to our Dr. Raketti Amin for her magnificent teachings of the Meta Netter. I want to say dua to our children of the community who we are actually trying to teach, motivate, enlighten, and elevate so that all of this could be transferred to them and that it will go on and on and on. I also have a special condolences for our Baba Seba, his father, his sister, our beautiful Queen Kua, and our brothers, King Teddy and King Kepakori, on the transitioning of their Uncle Sonny. We love you, we support you. We just want you to know that you're in our prayers and thoughts. Uncle Sonny was a wonderful man, a patriarch, a leader, and a man to just be proud of. And so we just want to give our deepest condolences to your entire family. And we also have a special prayer and blessing for our brother, King Jehudi Baru, and his wife, and our sister Shai and their entire family. And with that being said, I'm going to say Shem Imhotep, go in peace. Ashe.
Shem Imhotep.
Voices of Maat. Voices of Maat will evoke truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, order, to be conscious, gifted, and polite.